Today I'm taking you inside Ireland's Space Centre. Perfect for a family day out. Here you'll touch Ireland's largest meteorite, stargaze during a unique show in their LED dome, and kids can build their own space rocket. Plus, I'll show you what's new here and how much it all costs. And this is the planetarium in Armagh. It's conveniently located about an hour from Belfast and 90 minutes from Dublin, so not too far away from the main cities. And Armagh, of course, itself is a city. It's not a big city. In fact, it's the smallest city anywhere in the UK or Ireland, but what it lacks in size, it more than makes up for in history. So if you are here visiting the planetarium and you do have time, you need to check out the nearby cathedrals and see some of the rich history. And the planetarium we're going to check out today, it's fair to say, is probably one of the most unique experiences anywhere in Northern Ireland. So let's go and take a look. Well, memories of 1980s school trips come flooding right back. Let's hope I appreciate this just as much as an adult as I did getting a day away from school back then. Now, straight away, the place feels much smaller than when you come here on a school trip, if you ever did come here on a school trip. And you do all of a sudden have more of an interest maybe in some of the facts. And this place opened in 1968, and that means as it approaches its 60th year, it is actually the oldest planetarium anywhere in the UK and Ireland.
Discover what your anus smells like.
What?
I don't think I'd want to do that.
I'm going in. Oh, it definitely smells like Uranus. No, I wouldn't recommend that. It's much fresher here on Earth, believe it or not. So in here they've got a little sensory room for the kids. There's low level kind of space music playing, and there's all these kind of screens that they can touch. It says good astronauts hang up their suits, and here the kids can try their hand in putting on the gear of an astronaut. Now, there's three main parts to the planetarium. There's the Astro Park on the outside, which includes scale models of the entire solar system, and there's also a huge space-themed playground out there for the kids as well. Inside, well, the two main attractions you're going to check out is, of course, that 360 dome where the show runs hourly, and there's different kinds of shows, so do check ahead. There may be one more suited to your family's tastes. And the other part, of course, are just the exhibitions, and many of those to check out throughout the facility too. And we're going to start here because there's some really interesting artifacts they've got here where you can actually even touch old bits of space rock that have crashed to the ground locally and also a bit further afield. Here at the Meteorite Gallery, they've got different bits of space rock that have crashed to Earth, everywhere from this one in Russia. Here is one that crashed in Arizona, and here's one that crashed just up the road in Crumlin, County Antrim back in 1902. This little bit of innocent looking stone here. Now right here it says you can touch probably the oldest thing you'll ever touch. Well, that might be debatable depending on who you've touched in the past, but this is a 4,000-year-old meteorite that landed in Argentina, and it's something that you can't really do anywhere else, is actually properly put your hand on this thing that's crashed to Earth from outer space. It's not in a case or anything, so you can fondle it and feel the oldest thing you've ever put your hands on. It says it weighs around 140 kilograms, and it doesn't look like that much, but that is the equivalent of about 2 people or one of me. The reason, of course, these space rocks are significantly heavier than a rock of the same size on Earth is because they mostly contain metal, precious metal at that.
Yuri Gagarin was the first man to ever go into space.
Was he?
Yeah.
There you go. Not Neil Armstrong?
No, he was the first man to land on the moon.
He was, yeah. Well done. We're learning something. I'm guessing this is a big event space they have from when the school trips come in, and they can load all the kids in here in quite big numbers. And if you need another hint that this is used for something school related, it's one of those I haven't saw since I was back at school. Those hateful little wooden benches. Though the Armagh Planetarium opened in 1968, why is it in Armagh? Well, why not Armagh? It's as good as any, and it's more to do with its deep-rooted, rich history of astronomy that you can really date back to the 1700s. Now, the planetarium itself was the initiative of Dr. Eric Mervyn Lindsay. He was the director of the nearby Armagh Observatory, and he conceived the idea as far back as the early 1940s, but it took over 25 years to actually get the funding and to get the council buy-in to make his dream, the planetarium, a reality. The planetarium itself is constructed within the gardens of the nearby Armagh Observatory, which had already been a major astronomical institution since the formation of Armagh City back in 1790. And therefore this made Armagh a natural and logical location to place the planetarium. So we came in through reception. There's a little cafe over here. There's a little shop here as well, which we'll go into on the way out. The exhibition we've been having a room around is in here. There'll be sensory room is here, but I see next stop is going to be the rocket room. So let's go there and have a look at the rockets. Well, we're flat out building our rockets now. There's a little workshop room. It looks like it can hold about 20 in here. Kids seem to be enjoying themselves. A little bit of history about rockets around the room. I didn't know the first rocket was invented in China in the 12th century, so every day is a school day. There seems to be bottles, little bits of brick, colouring ins and tape for some reason. All this comes together for us to make our very own rocket. So we'll see how this goes. Right, we're off to fuel and release the rockets out the side door. I don't know what they put in these to make them take off, but we'll find out. Right, so you put water inside them. Are you holding it tight? Oh. You ready? Yeah. Half full? Oh, she gets to do two of them? Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Right, just going to shoot the rocket off. See how much mess there is around here with all the other rockets from today. Here we go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Wow! Do you see how far it went?
See that one?
Get up there for me. Okay, nice and blast off.
Here we go, another one.
3,
We're going to blast off.
2, 1.
Wow!
Oh, well done.
Did you see it fly? She's getting to do them all? Whoa! Yay!
That was so good! Wow!
How good was that? Well, that's actually a pretty cool experience. It takes about 15-20 minutes for them to colour up their rockets and tape them up, and then they get to let them go off in this little bit of grass out the back. I wouldn't want to be the one tidying that up at the end of the day though. This is also the little cafe they've got here, just for teas, coffees, snacks, things like that. If you fancy a refreshment while you're having a look around, you can stop off here, and here's how much everything costs. This little bridge gives you a bird's eye view of the gallery, and then here at the end of the corridor you're going to wait for the next show, which starts at 1, and that's where we're going to be headed in next to show you. So we're inside the big dome now, the 360 digital screen completely wrapped around, and yeah, this will be, well, the resolution will be a hell of a lot better from what I remember back in the 1980s, so looking forward to seeing what they've done with this.
Come and see the mysteries of the universe revealed before your very eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, now that I have your attention, have you ever wondered what you are made of? Supernovas complete the last stage of the element building process. Within these giant explosions, heavier, rarer elements are formed. Zinc, platinum, and gold. Through the process of natural selection, they adapted to new habitats. A species died off and new ones flourished, a tree of life mapped out to the generations. They were once in dinosaurs, in primitive fish, and made up the very first cells. Cells assembled from molecules containing atoms that first arrived on Earth as comets and asteroids. It all started when energy came together to form matter after the universe expanded from a single tiny point.
Can you put your hand up for me if you would like to have a go on a space roller coaster before we finish?
Well, that wee show lasted about 30 minutes in total, and they do like a little roller coaster bit at the end of it too if you want to sit on for that, which lasts about 3 minutes. And they call it Armagh, which is quite clever. It's not suitable for really young kids, where a few children are actually left during, because it gets quite dark. And the show runs early, by the way, and the show changes up as well. So we had like a little bit of an animated one, but it takes you in the history of the entire universe. On the upper level, they've got this little learning lab here. It's just a breakout area for very young kids where they can come in and throw around large Lego bricks, colour in pictures of the planets and astronauts, and just generally let off another little bit of steam. So it's an astrology space themed gift shop on the way out. Lots of little spaceships and even space themed slime. Is it space themed slime? Yeah. Dinosaur themed slime. Bye. And we're back to Earth. Parking here at the planetarium is free and convenient, and right here is the entrance to the Astro Park. Now it's absolutely huge to scale models of the solar system around this 14-acre trek. Kind of want to go around the whole thing. You can see there's a lot of space behind me, but I've discovered the hypercube, and already my mind is beginning to not be able to comprehend a lot of this stuff. It says the panel shows a series of objects with sides roughly 1,000 times larger than the one before. Kids are going to see this and just think, that's a climbing frame? That's what I thought. Look at this beautifully carved out bench they've got here. It says a tremendous gale in the night, and it invites you to take a seat as it tells you that space has weather, and they study it here in Armagh too. And they say it's very different compared to the weather we experience on Earth. There's no snow or no rain in space. Well then, it definitely is different, because you can see blue skies earlier on. Not only is it lashing now, but there's also a huge thunder cloud right above that's letting off almighty eruptions. I actually think the weather in Northern Ireland and Armagh is probably worse than space. I'd take my chances in the outer realms of the galaxy, if you don't mind. And these are the little scale planets that you'll find pebble dashed right throughout this Astro Park. I'm not sure which one this is. It's a small one. I don't think I've come far enough for Pluto. It could be, could actually be Earth there, but there's no signage around this. But you can follow it on your phone, of course. It invites you to download to get started. Thunder first, then comes the lightning. So we're going to leave the Astro Park here and head back. On a nice day, you can see how the kids would enjoy going around and finding all those planets. They're all to scale, as I mentioned, so it is a little bit of a dander around this path, and I would recommend you stay on the path. Now, if you're anything like me, very often you'll see something that looks like this and you'll do a face palm and you'll say, great, more public money being spent on public art. But actually, this is doing something very clever, and a bit like a real flower would. These petals are actually following the sun around in its natural track. They unfold at sunrise and automatically then track the sun's path right through the sky throughout the rest of the day to yield the maximum possible energy that it can. This project serves as a public demonstration of how aesthetic renewable energy actually works, and in fact it can produce up to 40% more energy than even traditional fixed rooftop solar panels by doing what this does. And at night, or when it's windy, these petals, again a bit like a real flower, actually close themselves up to protect themselves. Each individual petal has its own integrated brushing and cleaning system so that they can self-clean themselves. So whenever dust or debris gets among them, they can actually flush themselves clean. Very clever little bit of kit, and actually probably cost more than public art, to be fair, but this is actually doing something. Oh, right, we have just returned from space. We enjoyed that. It only takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get around in total, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could spend longer. There's little bits and pieces for the kids to do and play. You could spend a wee bit longer in it, but all in all, 2 hours is probably long enough.
So the cost of it is £7 for a child, £11 for an adult, and that's if you're paying for both the exhibition and for
show.
the show as well.
We paid a family ticket, which was £35, and we're going to get absolutely...
Yeah, and the rain's coming on like really bad now, so this is why it's always good to find a activity indoors like the planetarium in Northern Ireland, because you just can't be outside.
It was a lovely day.
I know, at
all
the start, you
morning.
can't be outside for more than half an hour
Crazy.
in this country.
Crazy.
It's so ridiculous.
But yeah, so it's £35 for a ticket for a family of 4, so that's 2 adults and 2 children. They did suggest that we could pay £25, and that does not include
Yeah.
the show. So for an extra £10, that gets you into the show as well. And actually, to be honest with you, both the kids sat and watched it, and I thought it was really good for 35 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if that if the dome show, I mean, it's immersively really great to go in there, and how that screen has changed since the days of coming on a school trip to like a completely digital screen is impressive. It's
Yeah,
sort of on
it's
a no,
amazing.
it's on a par with the Vegas
Yeah.
dome, but it's obviously using the same kind of digital LED technology as any of those big domes,
Yeah.
360 domes. But for very young kids, probably not too appropriate.
No, I think maybe from 4+ is absolutely fine. The girl also did say that there was different shows on throughout the day. I think they go from like the morning when it opens right up until 4 p.m. seems to be the last show, and every kind of on the hour show is different. So you can pick which one you want to go to and what one would maybe be appropriate for who you're with.
Yeah, there might be ones actually better for
Yeah.
younger children. And yeah, I had like the Armageddon coaster touch at the end. I thought
Yeah,
that was
good.
that was
She
quite
thought she
good.
was going on a real roller coaster, and then it started, and she realised,
Yeah.
oh, actually, this is just.
But there is, for younger children, there is plenty of little breakout rooms where
You
they can
liked
do
it.
activities and colouring in and let their rocket off. You like that as well?
That was the
And
best
That was
bit.
good fun.
Yeah,
she
that was a
enjoyed
good
that.
bit.
And there's that little sensory room and a cafe as well. So it's certainly not a full day activity by any
Not
stretch.
a full day, but I mean, if you're coming down here and you've got a couple of hours to kill, you can maybe go and get some dinner afterwards. I think it's worth
Yeah,
it. Worth the
the
trip.
rain's stopped now, so you can
Is it?
stop using the guide map
Okay.
for your umbrella.
You just wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, I know. The one thing I would say that I find kind of ironic, but has absolutely nothing to do with the planetarium as such, but obviously very much at the centre of what they're trying to teach children here is about evolution and where we came from and the space and the stars, and
Yeah,
that was
so they
certainly.
think it's from. They think we come from the stars.
Well, we
don't
do, yeah, we do come from the stars, and they explain that in the dome.
Do we?
We do.
Do we?
They explain
we?
that in the dome, but of course Armagh itself is a very religious city with the nearby cathedrals here. She wants to go to, I think, you now if you want to just hear.
Really?
So it's quite ironic that just across the road is home to some of the most kind of religious buildings anywhere in Ireland, but inside that dome it's very much about evolution and the creation of the universe and how we all kind of crawled out of the ocean at one point. So a little bit jarring, I suppose, but that's a by the by. Kids will certainly enjoy it anyway, and you can see maybe this one will come here on a school trip someday.
What did you think? Did you like the stars? What was your favourite bit?
Playing.
Playing area. The
Yeah.
playing area. And the rockets? How high did your rocket go?
Whew, way up
Was
in the
it
air.
so good? Yeah, it was amazing.
Anyway, if you're looking for a family day out in Northern Ireland, I'll put on the screen a couple more suggestions that you might want to consider if you're looking for something to fill those days, especially those rainy days as well, of which
Yeah.
there are many.
Plenty.
From the Armagh Planetarium for now, we'll leave it there. Thanks as always for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for more videos just like this one. Bye bye. Bye bye.